Senator Davis, a surge in DPS troopers, along with 1,000 National Guard troops to help protect the border, is estimated to cost nearly $20 million a month in Texas. Is it worth the cost?
It is important that we put money into areas that will grow our economy, investing in education, making sure that every 4-year-old in this state has access to quality pre-K to get off to a strong start, making sure that our high school students have access to college and that we make it affordable to them. When we spend money on something that was not requested by this local community, and we put boots on the ground that don't have detention and arrest authority, costing approximately $12 million a month, we are shortchanging our ability to do what will make a smart investment in the future of this state, an investment in our children.
General Abbott?
Carlos, this was an expenditure that, not Carlos, you're Ryan. Ryan, this was an expenditure that was necessary. It was necessary because the federal government failed to do its job. The federal government has the fundamental responsibility to secure and protect our border. It failed in its fundamental responsibility. But Texas will not stand idly by. We will step up and do what the federal government has failed to do. But this is one reason why, Ryan, that we are demanding from the federal government reimbursement for the expenditures that we had to pay out to secure the border. Remember also, Ryan, the last point, and that is secure communities promote economic development. This is a way of empowering the economy in South Texas even more.
Carlos?
General Abbott, there is a trial going on currently in Corpus Christi regarding voter identification laws. Please state your position regarding voter identification and explain that.
Well, I'm in favor of voter identification laws, and as you know, my office is the one that is representing the state of Texas in this case. And I'll tell you why I favor it. And that's because voter fraud is real, it must be stopped, and voter identification is one of the tools to put a stop to it. I am the only candidate running for governor who stands for election integrity, who stands for ensuring that we root out any kind of corruption that may take place in the voting process. Carlos, I almost hesitate to bring this up, but you know that one of the challenges that's going on as we speak is the fact that the FBI is involved in an investigation about people in the Rio Grande Valley who are using cocaine to buy votes. We cannot accept or tolerate this kind of lack of integrity in the election process. The Supreme Court has ruled that voter identification is one of the tools that states have the right to use to maintain integrity in the election process. I am the only candidate willing to fight for that principle.
Senator Davis, your response.
As a senator, I fought for the principle of making sure that people with valid opportunities and identifications to vote were provided the ability to do that. Mr. Abbott heads up a party whose platform calls for the repeal of the Voting Rights Act. And let's be clear what this is about. It is about suppressing minority vote. Right now, Mr. Abbott is defending in court a voter ID law that has as its intended purpose that outcome, just as he defended in my district that I represent the ability to suppress votes by tearing communities apart from each other, tearing minority voters apart from each other, to suppress their voices at the ballot box.
Thank you so much. That concludes the question and answer portion of this historic Texas gubernatorial debate right here live from the Rio Grande Valley. Now it's time for closing statements. You'll each have 2 minutes for this portion. And Senator Davis, you'll be up first.
A dear friend of mine has a grandmother who gave her the advice: when someone shows you who they are, believe them. I've shown Texans who I am. I showed it when I stood and fought against $5.4 billion in cuts to our public schools, because that's not just bad for our children, it's bad for our future. I've shown it by fighting for every 4-year-old to have access to full-day pre-K, to get off to a strong start, and every high school student to have affordable access to college. I've shown it by fighting to make sure that people are paid fairly for a hard day's work, because an increase in the minimum wage is good, not bad for our economy. giving 2.8 million Texans an increase in their spending power and the ability to provide for their families is terribly important. I've also shown that I will fight for equal pay for equal work, and that I will fight to close outdated tax loopholes that benefit giant corporations and send that money instead to fund our public schools. My opponent has shown that he will not support equal pay for equal work for women, that he thinks we should pick and choose which of our children should get off to a good start, and that time and again he will favor his insider friends over those of everyday Texas families. Voters will have to ask themselves this in the ballot box: who will fight for me? Who will fight for my family? I am asking for your vote tonight, and if I have the privilege of serving as your next governor, you won't need a high-paid lobbyist in the Texas Capitol to represent you, because your voice will be there, because I am you, because I have never forgotten who I am or where I come from, and I will fight for you every single day.
General Abbott,
thank you, Ron, and thank you all for hosting this unprecedented debate opportunity here in the Rio Grande Valley. As your Attorney General, I've been fighting for your liberty against an overreaching federal government. I've elevated the Texas child support system to be ranked #1 in the nation. And I fought to defend the Ten Commandments monument on the Texas Capitol grounds, and we won. Now, I want to fight for the future of Texas as your next governor. Now, Texas is already great, but I'm running for governor to make it even better. Texas is #1 in the nation for creating jobs, and I will keep it that way by keeping government small and taxes low. I'll build the roads and the water projects we need to keep Texas growing. I will also keep our communities safe from the Rio Grande Valley all the way to the Red River. But I will also work to build a brighter future for the next generation. The way I see it, Texas is #1 in the nation for jobs. We're also #1 in the nation for farms, for exports, for energy production, for so many different things. The time has come to set a new aspiration. Texas should be #1 in the nation for educating our children. As your governor, I will work to fulfill that aspiration. As your governor, I will keep Texas the land of opportunity, the place where hopes and dreams can still be realized, the place where more freedom and less government still matters. I'm running for governor, and I'm asking for your vote to make Texas even better. Thank you.
And that concludes the first Texas gubernatorial debate live from the Rio Grande Valley. What a great hour. We appreciate both candidates coming out. Senator Wendy Davis, thank you so much for your time and your insight. General Greg Abbott, thank you so much as well. We really appreciated both of you coming here tonight. And again, this is all about arming our viewers with the information they need to make an informed decision when they hit the polls. So it's worth reiterating once again the important dates. The last day to register to vote is October 6th. Early voting, again, begins October 20th. And the big day where we'll decide a new governor here in Texas, it will be on November 4th. I want to bring in, if it's okay, Carlos, the editor of the Monitor newspaper. Your thoughts tonight on this historic debate?
Well, thank you all for your participation. As the post-debate game begins tonight about who won, we should be mindful that there is one clear winner, and that's the voters of the Rio Grande Valley. I think on behalf of them, we appreciate your all's willingness to come here and subject yourselves to questions, and with your candor in the answers.
Dalila, your final thoughts to our Spanish language viewers.
Gracias, Ryan. Telemundo 40 reconoce que es de suma importancia que nuestra comunidad conociera las propuestas de los candidatos en nuestro idioma, en español, y bueno, esperamos que este debate les ayude a tomar una decisión y por supuesto les invitamos a que salgan a votar el próximo mes de noviembre.
We also want to thank Doctors Hospital Renaissance for this beautiful venue here tonight. Absolutely amazing. And also the crew that worked on the set design, Satori. Thank you so much for helping out with that. We do appreciate it. Once again, Senator Wendy Davis, General Greg Abbott, thank you to both of you. This has been an historic evening, and for everybody watching at home, have a great night.
Buenas noches.